I'm back with another mixed media Masterboard and postcard set. So I'm using a piece of music paper as my substrate, and I had this tissue paper hanging around near my desk. So I'm just kind of grabbing from what's around me. And I don't know if you just heard that, but that was my dog in the background. Just using liquid matte medium to adhere it to the background, just adding layers. I think it's been a while since I did this, but I think I spritzed that hoping it'd be a little more translucent if I glued it down while wet. I don't know if it mattered. Also, it made it easier to kind of tear as I was gluing it. I'm guessing that was my reasoning. I don't remember. I don't always know why I do the things I do, to be honest. Sometimes I just feel like it. That's a good enough reason. I really like that tissue paper. I think the one with text, I think someone packaged something in it when they mailed it to me. Because that one was super wrinkly. I did end up finding something similar or the same up at another time, but I think that one was from something someone had packaged. And here, see, I was really good in this video. I used things that I don't use enough of, but I hoard, and napkins is one of those things. So that's what that pink is. It's from a decorative napkin layer. I think it was a scrap hanging around on my desk again. This is a long video, so I won't be too offended if you speed it up. Spritzing it, so, oh, look at me using my inks that I purchased and hadn't used much of. Using that. You know what, I think when I added this color, I was like, oh, I don't know, but I ended up liking how it turned out in the end. That's the way it tends to go with mixed media, I think. And trying to use some of my washi tape stash because I hoard that too. I really like these wider tapes. I feel like I use those more often, which still isn't often enough if I'm gonna keep collecting them. Because if you don't use them, they tend to stick together and tear and be like horrible over time, so use it. Or it's gonna get wasted. I have a few rolls that are sold that, like, if I go to peel them off, they're just all stuck together and they just rip as I'm trying to peel them. as I'm doing this, I'm moving it around and looking at it from different sides and trying to fill in all the blank spots because I'm trying to remind myself that it's going to be cut up, so I don't want any sections to look weird once it's cut up. And then my go-to gesso to push back the craziness. That piece of paper is so wet right now, I can see it. I think that one took forever to dry. I'm pretty sure I left it overnight. And coming in with my pressed flowers and greenery. I don't really know what's in there. I see little violets, but other than that, not sure what those other ones are. I think those are asters right there. This one I use the a layer of the napkin backing to one of the decorative napkins to kind of seal everything in. And it's a lot more delicate than the tissue paper I used for the other set of postcards, so I'm pretty sure I tore it quite a few times. I can't talk. And I did a lot of dabbing to try to not tear it. I don't think I was successful though. I think I recall having a few tears. But I mean, it didn't really matter. It's gonna get covered up mostly anyway. And that's still not dry. It's not even close to dry. There's just so many layers of wetness on there. Someone had asked in one of my comments if I had mailed these as postcards and if I had had any problems with it. I haven't mailed them as postcards, and I think they're probably too textured and too thick and probably too heavy after all the layers to qualify as a technical postcard. I mean, they are 4x6, but I wouldn't dare. And I ended up deciding I was gonna kind of create a book with them all because I like them. I did one that was a horizontal, all the other ones have been vertical. So I did mail the horizontal to my YouTube buddy, Creative Wings, Rosie. But I put that in a package. I didn't mail it naked like a postcard. And here's the first postcard I did in this set. She was on the cover of a, oh, I probably said it there. I don't know. It was some sort of teaching magazine from like the 40s, I think. 1940s. And I didn't cut the original up. I can't remember if I resized it or not, but I did make a copy. I think I copied it smaller. And these are like wallpaper things. I don't know what they'd be called. Wallpaper embellishments? I don't know. I got them at a used like antique and collectible shop. Background was just a little too busy, so pushing it back some excuse me, some more with that pink paint. When I see that girl, she just reminds me of one of my students. Like, I see my student in her, like, completely. She just looks like her so much. I guess the pink was too much. I had to go back in with a little more white. Pulling out bits and bobs that I think might work with the background. I tend to have that stuff on my desk after for quite a while, and that kind of inspires the other stuff that I do after. And that just seems to work for me, though it doesn't work for me when I can't find space to work. Which is the situation I'm in yet again, except I can't even get to my desk right now. There's so much on the floor in there. There's no way I'm gonna find room for all my stuff in my art room. I didn't like the thickness of that chair image, so I'm peeling a layer of the paper off the back so it lays flatter when I glue it. It's not me thinking it's a sticker and never finding the sticky, I swear. And that's that really old book text that I just love because it darkens so much when it gets wet. It's like orange, like an orangey aged color. I love it. Decided I wanted that leaf on top of the chair image, so got out the tweezers and lifted it up. And I think I managed to do it without ripping it, so that's pretty impressive. Guess that paper was still too heavy for just the liquid matte medium, so I had to use the tacky glue. don't know if I said this, but I cut the backgrounds a little under 4x6 so that I could sew them onto a 4x6 background to have a little bit of a frame around it. That corner does not want to stay down. So this background I had added some gesso to while the background from the last postcard I did was drying. That pink paint takes a really long time to dry. Even with the heat gun, I tend to give it a little longer to dry, so I kind of did this while that I was waiting for that. That's why you can see it in the upper right hand corner. Here I am just kind of auditioning things. And this actually, I think this is the one. Ended up being probably one of my favorite ones. I wish I had scanned that image of that statue. I really just like it, and I would have liked to have used it again. I didn't think about it until after I'd already glued him down. I guess at that point I didn't decide yet, or I hadn't decided that I was going to do them all vertical and put them in a book. So I was kind of looking at it horizontally, see if I wanted to create a composition like that, but I did not. So what you'll see with this one is that I must have put a backing on, and you can see it right there, it's torn. I must have put a backing on while I was still working with this. I used double-sided sticky tape, and I know I messed up and I pulled it off, and somehow I set it down on him, and it stuck and it tore, and I was so upset. Like, I cried for hours. Not really, but I had to make it work because there was no way I wasn't going to use it. So you can see that I made it work and it ended up being one of my favorites. But, what a bummer to have torn it. I try not to get too attached to the background, but with the flowers added into that, like I didn't want to cover up that big pink flower, or at least not too much of it, so I was trying to keep it as part of the composition. I glue this down and everything and then decided I want it on here. Thankfully it hadn't dried yet. I ended up using it on one of the other postcards in this set. Might be the next one. I think this is where I decide I have to let go of that flower as part of the composition. Here's those wallpaper trees again, and I did use one this time. Still trying to cover that torn bit.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see.
As I was inking this, I realized when I sew it onto the background or backing card, I didn't want to sew on top of the tree, so thankfully I pulled it up so it didn't glue down fully.
It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go.
I don't do any of the sewing on the machine in front under the camera. I just bring it off and sew it. So you'll see the stitching at the end with the images. And actually you can see that this background or that backing piece was the one that I had messed up on another one, because you can see where the tape had been peeled off it, but that's going to get covered up. I struggle with doing the double-sided tape and having it stick down where I want it to stick down. I've pulled quite a few of those vacuums off from quite a few of them because I can't get it to line up. It seems like it's lined up and then I commit and then it's all wonky and I can't stand it. So I don't know if anybody has a system for that would help, but I struggle. And I think I actually gave up with the double-sided tape the last couple of times and just did some glue. I didn't want to do glue because it was going through the sewing machine, so. This one, I think that I missed a little bit of kind of the auditioning part of, oh my goodness, I can't find my words. I think I did some off camera because either my battery died or more than likely I just didn't have any space left on a camera card. I need to get a new camera because the one that I broke and thought I could have fixed will cost as much to fix it as it would to get a new camera. So I'm not gonna do that. And there is that bird coming back, and it does end up on this card, just not in that location because a lot of this doesn't end up on this card. I'm talking, and in the background my dog is like breathing and snorting and grumbling, and I don't know if it is picking it up on the on the audio. If it is, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I missed wherever I had done to get to this point. But I'm sure it wasn't anything that interesting. I'm sure I just auditioned a bunch of things. I decided to pull out the gel medium here, I guess. Trying to use that up. It's getting so thick. Cleaning it out with a little water. Watching the video, I think I prefer it like that without that bird sticker. I kind of wish I didn't put the bird sticker on, but I did. So Well, what do you think? Better with or without the sticker? I wish I could still see that circle on the lock thing. I'm not liking it as much with the bird now. Sometimes that's how it is though. If you don't look at it, like, I feel like if I look at it through the camera, I can really see it better than what is actually in front of me. There's just a different perspective, I guess. And yeah, so seeing it on video now, I kind of like it better the way it was, but whatever, it's, you know, it is what it is. It's not that I dislike it now. I'm using rubbing alcohol right there because that was archival ink and it was just too black and smushy there, I guess. I didn't like it. I wanted to pull back some of that. This ends up being probably my least favorite of the set, though I do like the vase and the mushrooms coming out of the vase, but I wish I had scanned those in too. I like those black and white antique vases. They're from an antique, like, catalog, I guess, like a collectible catalog from, oh, I don't know how long ago. So is that figurine, that female figurine on there. I don't know if they were from the same catalog. I had a few of them. I think why this one's my least favorite is just the lack of contrast in her and the mushrooms. I guess it all just kind of gets lost in the background. Nothing stands out enough. It probably would have been better on a different background, something with more color, I guess, or a darker color. I really want to use that fish illustration, but I haven't managed to find anywhere to put it yet. I keep trying though. This helps a little bit with the background, but it's not enough, I don't think. But it makes her stand out a little bit more. I really like that postage stamp. It's pretty cool. Guess I didn't use it though. Probably because I like it too much. I don't have another one like it. Plus the purple is repeating the purple that's in the background, so it makes sense that I would use that one. Oh, it's a little wonky, had to straighten it up. Silly dog. I think all I do is edge it with ink and then put on its background, and I finished. Only an hour after the video started. Just imagine how long it really took me. I'm a slow worker.